could be effective. I just feel like Gambit, if any team in the CIS bracket is going to know how to play around, like, that is basically immersion signature hero. So there is kind of this unwritten element towards drafting, is like, it's not schooling, it's not BM, it's not trying to show them how to play the heroes. Like, if a team plays with that hero incredibly regularly, they understand the dynamics that it brings to the game, right? Like, on a deeper level than most teams would.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That always comes into a draft, is specialty heroes on both the teams. Although, I can't help but feel like you don't want to be scared like that. I feel like a lot of professional players would think that's like a bad attitude,
creating a mind block, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a mental block for yourself. But that doesn't mean that. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, especially losing the first game, it's very possible. But I'd like to, hope for the best, just so we can see some good Dota. But they're really thinking about it. This makes me think that it's like a cheese pick because, I mean, I really feel like Earth Spirit is relatively obvious.
I mean, this is the turn point. If you do not get the pick right here, then you're just behind. You aren't winning this draft, and they still just don't address the Bane. Like, everything Uvajenie has, and I'm just sitting there going, you don't really have a good way of addressing the Bane. And that's not going to really address the Bane either. Unless you're running this as like an off-lane Wraith King with the old Blink Dagger build, but that seems to have fallen out of favor.
Yeah, people will run this as like a carry. I've seen in the in Europe pubs, people will run Wraith King carry. In NA, people are running it as like an offlaner. And like you said, it's not really a Blink build. It's usually Radiance or Aura items, and then into an eventual Blink. But sometimes people just go like phase drums and just go for the movement speed build, because this is one of the heroes that got the 15 movement speed, which actually surprised me that he didn't start getting picked up, just like Ursa and Legion even seeing more picks. Of course, Lifestealer. These 15 movement speed heroes are actually ridiculous, including Wraith King. Wraith King is like low-key broken. And in 1 to 2 patches, we're going to think this hero's broken, for sure. Probably, maybe even this patch.
Yeah,
he's been buffed a lot.
It'll take us a little bit of time. I mean, we still have to get over Ursa first. That was the most obvious one of those movement speed changes, but I definitely agree Wraith King is silently in the back, waiting to emerge. Just like he did around TI, when people realized, oh, these Ags builds are pretty good.
Yep, Ags and just the amount of pressure you can put on with the stun in the off lane, and the skeletons let you push lanes. Like, every offlaner in Dota that's good has some way to safely push lanes, because your job as an offlaner is to shove waves and get the enemy team to split up and then take fights that you cause to be split. Like, that's the ideal offlaner. It just allows you to... It's just a higher chance of winning Dota. It's just the role people have found for offlane. And they become mid-Shadow Fiend. They don't know what's getting picked into them. Like, okay. Broodmother's okay. You could Darkseer against it. I think TA is pretty good, other than the fact that you're against a Darkseer, but you're against a Shadow Fiend. TA would do very well in that lane. Let's see. Don't want to Ember. SF is pretty good against that.
Clinks could get burst pretty easily, but...
Yeah, Clink's a double raise and you're dead.
And you're also, like, if you're doing that, you're saying, I'm going to find choke points against a Pangolier.
I do think like maybe Tiny Mid would work. You can burst the SF, it dumps on him in the lane. You can burst the Pango before he rolls. You can burst the Witch Doctor. Only thing is, it doesn't really deal that well with the Wraith King and Darkseer. Yeah, maybe some mana burn for the Wraith King wouldn't be bad either. What could you put on the mid lane?
I'm wondering about... You just want someone that can actually push hard. Okay, Kunkka. See, now...
That's another pretty obvious one, I guess. I always forget about Kunkka. It's just like such a standard mid laner.
Yeah, you don't have the power and the denies you used to. The reason I was kind of like... I was thinking of something that has easy kill potential, because the other thing Gambit really have going for them is both their supports could easily gank mid, right? You've got the Shaman or the Bane. Compare it to what Uvajenie have. Witch Doctor and Pangolier, not really renowned for their mid-ganking capabilities.
Yeah. God, they're useless when it comes to ganking. They're just both... well, I don't know. I'm not even sure how Pango 4 works, to be honest. I've never seen it be that useful in the laning phase, unless the lanes are already owning. But with Witch Doctor, it's a defensive hero. You want to have people dive, and then you cast them together, cast them on waves. You stop their ganks. You're kind of like an Earthshaker, except without the capability of setting up like long range your own ganks. And I can't stop staring at this Witch Doctor mask. It is actually mesmerizing. Look at this.
You know what? You were talking about legalization in Canada. He kind of looks like he's experienced that.
This is a weed hero for sure. I don't know what those fruits are on the tree. Dragon fruits or something like that, but those are weed leaves.
Just play this while you get high and get tripped out by the monkey. Or is that a cat?
I have no idea what that is. There's a mask on. I think it's a monkey. I'm pretty sure it's a monkey.
Yeah, it should be.
Pretty sure Witch Doctor's like a, I don't know, jungle guy.
And he's definitely been testing the product on the poor animal, because I've never seen a monkey look so confused in life.
Yeah.
Where am I,
Is he wearing a bird? Is that a bird? There's legs on the cauldron that's on his neck. Is it paused or something? What's going on with this?
I believe we are indeed paused, so you just have to keep being tripped out by the way. Oh, there we go. The Witch Doctor shall scare you no more, except in the screen and then whenever you look at him in game. Which might be our final of the day. We're not sure though. We have to see if Uvajenie can actually turn this around. I mean, it's definitely a rapid ramp-up lineup, right? With the SF gets that huge power spike out guarding Greaves, the Pangolier, once he has Rolling Thunder. Even the Wraith King from the early point could look to fight depending on his build. But you're going to be playing in the mid-game. I think the biggest concern in my mind right now is, just like the game earlier today, this Kunkka boat buff. Like, how do you easily spike people down?
Kunkka boat buff with the brew split, with the two, like they have the Serpent Wards. Bane, sure, doesn't have much to like push towers, team fight, but he's got a lot of disable. Like, I really think that Gambit this game has a lot more that can close out a game than they had in the previous one, where they were just kind of tanky and running at towers. Whereas they can dive and kill with this lineup. Like, there's no lacking of damage whatsoever from Gambit.
Yeah, I mean, you could build hearts and butterflies on Ursa and actually kill people pretty easily.
Yeah. This hero just innately does so much damage.
They just sit in the draft like, the hack, are you going to build damage items this game? No. I want effective HP. Okay, give him Ursa. This is like the go-to for FNG. He just sits there like, are you going to play the carry properly this time, or are you just going to tank up? I want to tank up. Fine. Give him the Ursa.
All right. You can build 2 hearts. We'll just
give you the Ursa. Smart move.
So they're tri-laning the Ursa bot. I think probably Witch Doctor will go top afterwards. He's just chilling down here to start, just to get the rune. Maybe first blood. Yeah,
they want to just try and punish the hack straight off the bat when he's weakest. Once he gets level 3, it's kind of unapproachable. That's a lot of damage to the Pangolier. They're splitting up from the cask, and they'll skew the runes at least. But the trade, I'd actually say I'd honestly favor Gambit in that trade there. A lot of damage under the Pango.
It is. However, Ursa against Darkseer, I'm not sure how great that is. I don't think you do particularly well against Darkseer as Ursa, unless you really get a lead at level 1, like they're attempting to do right now, which is good.
It's kind of weird because both the Iron Shell and the Fury Swipes are pretty dog at level 1. So it's an equal trade in terms of damage, but it's more about that spike that comes out, right? When you got 1 point Nova Power and 2 Fury Swipes, theoretically Ursa could just run in and punish you. I mean, you can surge 1 target, but you're probably going to be running away most of this lane if you're UVJ.
And he just goes immediately to cut the second wave on Darkseer. See, I'm always like confused how people get away with cutting this second wave on Darkseer. Like, how do they kill it quickly? How do they not die? How do they not get denied? And then it always goes poorly. Like, this never turns out well. I guarantee you one of these 2 heroes dies here. It always happens. And then it gets better at level 3.
I mean, Pango's taking a lot of damage right now. He's holding on the swashbuckle at all times, and he'll need to, because one more hit, you might see a brain sap come out. That's the salve. It's just the amount of regen you're actually burning to secure this first wave, and you're basically taking crap tons of aggression from a single support while the core easily farms without expending his regen.
Yeah, Ursa's cool with this. This is fine.
Even with the armor reduction, now that you get armor on towers like that, it's just... You don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Building to the boots next. He's getting solo experience. This is definitely a hero that you like to have this solo XP. See, Bane is still like beating the living hell out of these two heroes.
Yeah, is that all right? I'll follow you with the creep wave. 60 damage, or 63 rather, on my hero with the Fairy Fire as well.
See, now Darkseer doesn't have any mana left. This is always seems to be what happens. It's like, how do you sustainably do this? Well, where does he go where he gets mana now? I mean, I'm actually interested in seeing how he plays this, because this is
oh, he's
not looking that great.
So at least get the bottle. He needs regen instantly. And in fairness, this mid lane is going to need access to the core irregularly. It's kind of the thing about the SF is, we talked earlier the day about these heroes that just kind of like funnel out crap tons themselves. And SF is definitely among them now. Same with the Mangoes, in fact.
Kuka's destroying him.
14-4-7-3. You expect SF to struggle early on. The question is whether he can rapidly farm up. It won't happen anytime soon because you are talking about Radiant versus Dire, where Radiant has the access to that close creep camp and Dire doesn't.
Ooh, nice. I didn't know that you could at level 2 just torrent the range creep and then Tidebringer and it kills it from full HP.
Pretty strong.
Pretty strong. That's pretty strong.
I think most people always like it. Kind of like is in the back of your mind if you play Kunkka a lot. You always remember it, but a lot of people just casually forget that Tidebringer is affected by Quill and Blade again. They removed it for a while. Meanwhile, on top lane, however, they're going to remove Shaman from the map for a few seconds. First Blood is finally drawn by Plantimos. That was a very snoozy laning phase, but then again, you're talking about Darkseer in the bot lane and an SF versus Kunkka mid. We probably should have been looking at the top lane defense.
Probably, yeah.
But FNG in the bot lane. Oh no, he got silenced again. He got the Brain Sap out, but it won't make a difference. The Surge will be able to get the Pangolier away, and Dahak's like, okay, back to hitting creeps, I guess.
See, now is when you don't really want to be chasing them around the creep wave bot. But the problem is, with Darkseer and an aggressive hero, you can dive the Ursa, possibly. Oh, nice. No rune on the bot lane.
That's on the top, and it was bottled up by Pikachu. Nothing in. He just picked up his bottle. Of course, it's not these runes, not a big deal for the Kunkka, as you do have the means to exit and TP back to base and return to the lane.
Yep, true. That's always super nice.
Kind of an interesting part of the game right now. Like we talked about Batrider as an example. Like, heroes that naturally good in the boots of travel. Heroes like the Ember that used to, and heroes like Kunkka, they also get huge value here because it used to be, like, if you're playing at high levels, if you X TP back to base, your opponents see that and they instantly make a move elsewhere, right? Because they know you can't react.
Right. Yep.
But now these items become more viable to just keep that proactivity up throughout the mid-game into the late.
The nuts thing about Kunkka is that you just can't get... You can never get split pushed because you can just push the enemy high ground, and as I say that...
Top lane again. Immersion taking a lot of damage. They're going to turn around Black Archangel and Witch Doctor. They'll pay a price for this. Immersion should be able to walk away. The Maledict will hurt, but not enough. The Raindrop does protect. Oh, Wraithfire Blast going out. All the Killich with the body blocks. Good enough for the clap as well. They'll pick up the rune and Immersion will walk away in one piece. Just in time for a very efficient use of a Shrine. The Skelly Bros are a little bit confused, just standing still.
Oh, they respawn. Get them! Free gold!
More gold!
+5, baby. Mid lane, lots of regen being sent out on both sides.
Look at FNG though. I mean, he's seen that the boat's going to be there on a Pikachu. Immersion rotating as well. The TP's coming in from Pangolier to help out. Torrent up in the air. Shackle's there. Cask interrupts it. Trying to move across with the Swashbuckle Maledict out as well. Pikachu getting low, but the Voodoo Restoration keeps him healthy. They'll turn around the races, get the kill on the Bane, and all of a sudden, Kunkka needs to abort and run away. The boat buff will protect for the time being, but he's starting to feel the damage. And Pangolier, he's not going to let up. Torrent sidestepped. Swashbuckle in 5 seconds. He can't try for it though.
This is one of the more underrated things about having a Darkseer combo, is that once Darkseer starts cutting the creep wave, you could just throw an Iron Shell on the person that you're comboing with, and then they gank another lane, and you essentially have Darkseer in 2 lanes. Like Spirit Breaker, charging mid, Earth Spirit, we commonly see that in these games. Makes the hero much stronger if you're able to abuse that sort of thing.
Especially the Earth Spirit. You're basically just trying to put yourself in a scenario where, if I'm going to go deep, it's not about how tanky I am, it's about whether I have more damage, like percentage burn on their health compared to them.
Right. Just an equation.
Yeah, simple maths, really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you have an Iron Shell on you, pretty likely that you're going to do more damage than your opponent, no matter how much armor you have.
Just type infinite into the equation and go. Don't
yeah,
think
just
about it.
Plus infinity. Make sure not to do the negative infinity because that one makes it lower, a lot lower. Unfortunately.
Pretty sure that just gives you a null value at that point.
Undefined.
Never use infinite encoding, folks. Always just like put 9,000 for the mean value.
I do 69, 69, 69.
No, I always used to do like these different meaningful values and leave comments about it for anyone else who would go to my code later. Really annoying my lecturers. Anyway, Black Archangel. He's going to be ran down casually. No, escape this Witch Doctor. Does at least show the Witch Doctor escape. Not the Witch Doctor, the Wraith King escapes. He won't be so lucky.
So nice rotation from the Kunkka. Just controlling the tempo of this game a little bit. Ursa's got to defend the bot tower. He's kind of playing down here solo, getting a lot. Shadow Shaman takes mid, so he's going to get that level 6 a little bit sooner. And Kunkka can just jungle very quickly at this point. Shadow Shaman can't. So this is just like an effective way to lane this.
They're going to try and punish Immersion, but the Torrent, the Shackles as well. Pangolier, that's a tad too far. Me on top. Maledict's out on Brewmaster. He's going to try and move Wake Collapse there. The body blocks are not, though. Plantamos cannot stop Okulich from escaping.
He really needs a 6 on the Brewmaster. Then he can possibly rotate. Both of these supports, Vayne and Shadow Shaman, very good at outputting a lot of early aggression. Speaking of which, in the mid lane.
Going in. Shackles is there, and, well, this is the value you get out of Pangolier. You see, he's always there next to you, watching you die.
Yep. Sounds about right. Typical Pangolier contribution, and yet he still contributes more than Pudge as a 4. So,
well,
please buff.
Swashbuckle is lower cooldown, in fairness.
Yes. doesn't take a minute to cool down. So this Shadow Fiend, this like what he's building right now, I would say is a pretty direct cause of him dying in these situations. He needs like Bracer. You need some sort of infused raindrop because Kunkka only does so much damage with a support rotation. Like it's always +1 with Kunkka, even +2. If you have a Bracer and then a raindrop, you just don't die in all of these situations. It's like one of the few heroes you have to build tanky, or otherwise this just keeps happening.
I mean, they almost done it again as well. You just saw that. Emotion was like, okay, you're going to step forward to the creep wave, it will happen.
It's just an unfortunate consequence of being versus a Kunkka. He just does so much damage that from full HP, he will literally kill you with just one rotation. And they will do it. Like with X, you can do it easily.
Those do it to Darkseer. They got the X you were just talking about, dragging back into a big mess. Darkseer dies, the Hack picks up the kill, and he's got a Midas now, so 5k net worth on this bear, and it isn't going to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, the Midas makes him great against the Darkseer. Just Midas the creep and overpower, kill the other one.
Oh,
this bear's a huge problem right now.
Trying to actually get the kill on the Brewmaster, but they can't. And Shadow Fiend came here as well, so you get the runes top, but heavy commitment. You're not really getting too much out of it.
Brew needs some space. Presumably after Shadow Shaman gets 6, they might give Brew a little bit of time to just take some space. Bane gets a free lane top. The supports on Gambit are getting a lot, but Brew is the one that's kind of suffering. I mean, his last hits aren't that bad, but it's experience more so where he's suffering.
Well, so is Pangolier. Look at this. He's actually reached level 6. The Hack actually has to be careful, but not too careful. He's fast enough that he can dodge out all the wrong thunders. Pangolier needs to be careful because he could potentially get burst down with an enrage in that small wind-up window if he gets hit once by Fury Swipes.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of damage when you max overpower.
Okay, they won't be able to find anything. Boat did come in, but it was sidestepped. And Gambit, they're smart cookies. They're not going to risk it. They instantly just back away, disengage, because in another 50 seconds, you'll be ready to fight again with a new boat.
It's true, and also this allows Immersion to TP top. He has the Serpent Wards available. Looks like he's heading towards mid because he knows that UVJ are heading towards the bot lane. So the mid tower is just more important to secure. If you can do a gank into mid lane push, and he heads back up top. So he's looking to use those Serpent Wards somewhere else, abusing the fact that the entire Dire squad is on the bot lane. They don't even look to defend that. At this point, you just sack it. It's too difficult to defend. You don't want to risk it.
And he's literally the most pointless tower if you're raiding. Like, Well, basically, this is going to open up Raiden jungle, and as is talked about on a lot of casts, I find, you don't really want to be here because you're just so far away from the Roche pit. Meanwhile, you're trading either your mid tower or it's going to be the top tower, which is going to open up the areas around Roche.
Right, you'd much rather open up the enemy jungle than to just play in your own, especially out that far where it would open up, or it would keep safe. Like it's not that important.
Plantimos isn't safe. The reincarnation's been used. Split's going to come out the boat as well, and the Serpent Ward's down. Boat hits on the 3 heroes. The Requiem is going to be charged up, but no chance to use it. Cyclone drags him down, interrupts, and the X drags him back towards his death. Plantimos will walk away alive, but the Shadow Fiend will not be so lucky. And FNG, he's hunting for more. Older Kulich does see them, but nothing he can do. They'll turn around, take the tier 1 tower, and a big boost to the side of Gambit.
Really nice play, interrupting the Shadow Fiend ulti. I think if that gets off, I mean, it's 50% damage reduction. Very important. It's like a pseudo ghost ship. So interrupting that is very important, even disregarding the damage that it does. And that's like a full defense from the Dire, and yet they take the tower. And this is with an Ursa on your team. Eventually, this hero is just going to run into Roche, and because you have no tower there, if you're too far away, he just takes it for free. Brew's taking some meat time now. He's taking some space. He needs it badly.
I mean, the Vlads are so huge for the team as well. We talked about the Ursa. That'll just make Roche 10 times easier, basically. And the Kunkka has gone for the armlet build. Which, in this type of... Well, I mean, I think you go about saying makes sense, right? Because in this type of game, they are accelerating so fast that it fits the tempo.
Yep. And great with the Vlads, too. All that base strength. Amplified by the 15% Vlad's damage. I like the armlet as a if you don't really need or want the Shadow Blade for initiation and ganking. It's just like a good general item to make Kunkka tankier and also do damage. It's like another one of those like kind of pseudo damage, not necessarily utility items, but it's kind of utility for Kunkka because his utility is the fact that he's so tanky and runs in, and if you don't kill him, he'll kill you. So you're forced to focus this guy with like 3,000 effective HP. More than that, probably.
Yeah, definitely a hard cookie to crack. And it's kind of the recurring theme, right? Look at Gambit's lineup. This Brew, fairly tanky. Ursa, a very renowned hero when it comes to tanking up. 3.3 strength per level.
It's the highest strength gain agility hero in Dota.
Kind of a remnant. It's kind of a remnant from the old Ultimate, right? Because if I remember correctly, the old one was, you got bonus health based on your strength or something? It was really
something like bonus. I think it's bonus damage based on your strength.
That was it, yeah. And they're going to go into hack right now. I mean, he's got the enrage. He might want to throw it out if he wants to live. It's not going to make much difference though. This was a camp too far. He's going to try and turn around for a kill on the Witch Doctor, but he won't find it. He's so close to the BKB. Although
a
Kulich.
Brew got the...
He got it.
He's haste.
He's got haste as well. He's like, bye, have a good time.
He taunts. He taunts. They got all bounty urns. That's worth the death on Ursa. That's like, at this point, 2,000, almost 2,000 gold, something like that. It's actually ridiculous how much bounties give.
You were talking about earlier with the reduced value of like creeps on the map as well. It's one of the
for sure.
current variables that doesn't change.
Yep, definitely. Ursa's going for BKB rush. In fact, he has it. BKB first item.
They're definitely looking to race here. Like, look at Kunkka, he's doing it as well. They basically just want to be up on the high ground by the 25-minute mark.
Which is
fits with their lineup.
It fits with their lineup, but against SF, this hero wants to fight around that timing. So maybe it's like, all right, let's just prevent this timing from the SF, and we're just guaranteed to win.
Definitely is needed if you want to go to the high ground, though, against the Pangler especially. Cask thrown out, will bounce across an Aphanin, but that's where it'll end. And Split's going to come out. Pikachu shoot his face, and now they want to rip it off. They're moving. Torrent's going to be there. Boat follow through as well. Someone needs to protect this Shadow Fiend, but there will be no one there to help him. The Cyclone keeping the Pangler out of the fight. Finally, will come out. Pikachu stays alive. Roland Thunder charged up. The Aegis has been claimed, but now Aphanin backing away. Fiend's grip there, but interrupted. The Serpent Wars in the meantime will kill off the Witch Doctor, and it looks like Pangolier will just have to escape this in this corner, though. Goes for the kill to FNG. The hack, BKB activate, goes in for the kill to Pikachu, will be able to find it. Turns around with the enrage as well. Palantimos needs to run for the high heels. Will be able to move away. One's up to make sure he'll have the reincarnate just in case, but can they fight towards these Serpent Wards? They're going to try. Kulich is seen. They want to turn around and kill him off. He's trying to juke them to the side, but they will find him in the end. He won't even get a final flap out. Palantimos will live. Armor toggling on point. The hack can't find any additional kills.
Unfortunately, they just don't have the damage. Like we talked about, the SF, his timing is this mech. Guardian Greaves, we saw how tanky he was, how much space he made for his team to just kill everybody in that fight while Ursa and Brew were focusing him. It's just the problem when Ursa's in the pit roshing and you have everybody trying to focus this SF. You just don't do enough damage to kill him without the Ursa. But you don't want to just sack the Rosh. So it's kind of an awkward situation where you calculate, okay, we could probably kill them after Rosh, but they actually couldn't. They couldn't fight after the Roshan. They needed the Ursa there to focus the SF, and once they probably should have just gotten out. But it's a hard calculation to make at this point in the game. You feel far ahead, but when he gets to the mech, he's just too strong.
You can see him trying to fix his mistake like he's in an episode of Back to the Future. He's going for the Blink Dagger after the BKB here. Just wants to actually be able to deal with that issue that arises there, which is, yeah, you got the Aegis, but you still had to run all the way through just to reach the back line and find the SF.
And then you sit there, wait for the SF to come down from the what's it called? The tornado, and then his team is just killing your team on the sidelines. But you can't focus anybody else. He's going to go on the Pango, then you have to waste your BKB. You're going to go on the Darkseer. He has to surge. He's going to kill the Wraith King. He's got the Reincarnation. You have to go on the SF. But like you said, no Blink Dagger, no bueno.
Just kind of like sitting there waiting for the elevator, and behind him you can hear torturous screams. Refuses to look behind. Committed to get on that elevator. He's committed to taking that ride.
Jesus, that's morbid.
You know, sometimes you have to paint a dark picture so people kind of notice.
Yeah. I mean, just life is dark in general, isn't it? You're just exposing to reality, that's all.
Yeah, half the time it is. That's how nighttime works. And Pikachu might find out how death works. He's locked on the spot. Serpent Wars will commit. They'll find the kill. They'll find the tier 2 after taking the tier 2 top. And that is a huge influx of gold in the hands of Gambit.
Doesn't even have an opportunity to use the Greaves. Too much disable. Shadow Shaman with the early Ether Lens. Very hard to fight into this guy. He can just be standing in trees so far away and hex you and shackle you.
Things get harder. The blink is now online for Ursa.
Oh boy.
They're already look at it. Look at the lines being drawn.
I think you just blink and kill the Witch Doctor because he's an insta-gib. You'll just destroy him in like 2 hits, and then you don't have to use your BKB for that. They commit stuff to you. You have the Aegis. Like you bait a fight to start that way, and then once the enemy team has revealed their positions, you can have like kind of your Brew go in, your Shaman pick who they want to pick off. Like it opens up the fight to just have your team do stuff. If you go in first with Ursa, just blow up the Shaman.
This is why Ursa's so good at the moment. You know, the biggest problem with this guy was the early laning phase and how you could easily get forced out. But with the armor, with the way Fury Swipes work, with the movement speed now, you can aggress back. And if you cruise through that laning phase, you don't even have to dominate it. You get to this stage where you can blink on one person, instantly just burst them down. If the enemy team focuses on you, you have Enrage to protect yourself anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Ursa's always been good in the mid to late game. Like, he's always been nuts. You just jump on somebody and kill them. I don't know if there's any hero in Dota that can burst somebody as quickly as Ursa. I think he's legitimately like the fastest burst hero in Dota. Like Necro with Dag and Scythe, I don't know.
That's the only one, yeah. You know, your Scythe has to do half the work there.
Yep, so, like you said, with the movement speed mostly, the laning is just so easy.
I mean, I guess a PA, actually. A PA could burst someone down that fast.
I don't know, dude.
If you're lucky.
She actually doesn't do that much burst damage when you go into a practice lobby and you set her up with like ideal items. She doesn't have Rapier, she doesn't do that much burst. She has to get really lucky with crits.
I feel like you never tried the artillery build before they fixed the cleave.
Artillery build.
You basically just spam Battle Furies, you throw out triple dagger and kill anyone who's nearby with the cleave. Okay,
like the one-hit dagger build. Yeah, I mean...
I like to call it artillery build because you're never going to get close or you just die instantly.
That's like a support killing build, though. I feel like with Ursa, it doesn't matter how tanky somebody is. You can kill them if you just have a little bit of disable.
Speaking of the Witch Doctor. Going in, the Witch Doctor has been found. BKB was activated. Aegis just got reclaimed as well. Perfectly timed. Boat's going to come through. On the Cheshire Cat on the side. The Fiend's Grip is out, so Pangolic can't counter-initiate. Stun's going to come out in the Bane. But he's already done his work. Pikachu with the Requiem. Shackles long range. And there's the use of the Enrage to ensure they get the kill on the Darkseer. The X will make sure he cannot escape alive. Dragged back towards his death. And they're moving across. Stun control on a Pikachu means he can't move away either. The hack with the blink in. This bear is hungry and angry, and he'll find himself a triple kill. He might make it 4. Wraith King does have the reincarnate, but guess what? With no teammates left alive, they can easily and happily kill you twice.
And they have the Hex Shackles. He has no way to get out of this.
See you later. Oh, the hack mistimed it. The one threw them off a little bit. Kulich gets a kill in the end. The lines have been drawn, actually. They're looking at top. It's pushed in.
Shaman didn't even use Serpent Wards for that. He's just saving it for the Rax push after.
Gambit asserting dominance.
Yep, they know they don't need it. I'm telling you, though, the Witch Doctor just like blowing up the supports is so effective. I love doing this on Ursa because there's Witch Doctor does not have items and will not get items to ever deal with this, but he's actually quite effective if you just let him do his thing in the fights.
I mean, he doesn't have the skills either, right? Like this is the thing. What are you doing when you do that? You're blinking in. You're not next to anything a cast can bounce on, so you're gonna basically mini stun the Ursa.
Right. This is the problem for like Lions and Liches and Rubiks. If the enemy team just jumps you, you're so squishy, they can probably just kill you before you do anything. If you BKB, they'll just kill you in the first second of it. And you're so important to be alive for the fight. Wyvern 2, another good example.
That's why some players have been arguing, experimenting with these bracer builds on even things like Wyvern or the Witch Doctor. Just anything to get your health at least over the 1,000 mark at this stage of the game. It's
like a weird hero priority in team fights because like you're not necessarily prioritized because you're this crazy team fight hero. It's just that the cost of killing you is so low that if you have any value, it's just worth it to kill you first.
It's true.
So it's usually the hero that you want to focus. The only types of heroes that I would argue are above like the easy to kill heroes are like your Zeuses, your snipers, or alternatively like your Magnuses and Enigmas.
Potentially Kunkkas as well, right? With the
counter initiators.
The big boat buff is it's basically you're looking at.
I don't know. I would say you don't like Kunkka. He's too tanky. It's really risky. You want to take the boat buff away, like in an ideal world, if you can.
So you basically need a strong stun, or it's just irrelevant.
Yeah, if you have a strong stunner, I would say disabling Kunkka's of huge value.
Wraith King's getting disabled a little hit. They're actually going to roll in for this now. The BKB activated. Witch Doctor found again. Fiend's Grip onto the Pangolier. Good luck, June, for being a mischief in this fight. Immersion trying to move away. Vacuum on him to 3. In fact, drags them in. They find the kills on the Gambit supports. Now trying to move away. Sun comes out to the hack. No enrage to work with. No BKB, but he's just going to get crit down. Afternoon will TP away with his own BKB. And the Kulich will find an escape line just to TP out.
Wow, they didn't use split for that, surprisingly.
It was too late.
Shadow Shaman dying without using wards is a problem. I think he was, once again, being greedy, trying to hold them for like afterwards or for like a good opportunity. Bane was not in a good position to get grip off. He was just sitting right on the low ground. Ideally, you'd like to be on the high ground or sitting in trees so that you can go get the grip off after the fight has started, as opposed to like being in the middle of things where you can get stunned. It just was a very unfortunate positioning from the supports. And that forces the Ursa to go in. He kills the Witch Doctor, which is his job. But then your 2 supports dies, and you have all of a sudden nobody to help you when you just get focused after the BKB. So, teamfight basically botched up by bad positioning and by UVJ taking advantage of that.
Yeah, it was basically Gambit going for this pincer maneuver in which one side of the pincer was being pressed. So you basically had the initiation come in at the back here, but you already saw UVJ moving here. If anything, that was an after-the-fact opportunity attempt by the Ursa to find something. But maybe he's got a little bit too much of a hard-on for the Witch Doctor in this game, is the way I'd say it.
Yeah, I think like using the BKB for the Witch Doctor is probably not necessary. Like, this hero can't turn and cast you before you kill him. I think what you want to do ideally is kill him, and then if they go on you, like they're not going to burst you before you get the BKB or Enrage off. I think it's fine if you turn at like 30% HP with Enrage and BKB. That's perfectly fine. As long as you have the BKB for after the Witch Doctor dies. You don't need it for him. Although if you have an Aegis, a lot of these things that we're talking about don't really matter. Teamfight dynamics go out the window.
Yeah, and
it's going to be a hard Aegis to get.
Vandamos is going to make him work for it a little bit. He has to. He's almost got that Halberd online. He doesn't want them to pick up Aegis, at least before he has that. Torrent on him to slow him down. The hack needs to be careful. That Radiant Spurn does, in fact, hurt. Skelly Bros will emerge again. Afternoon just clearing them up.
This is a really good timing for UVJ, though.
Afternoon went in the pit,
King
though.
is...
They might try and cut him off here. They're Trying to move away. X going to come in. Pangolier in trouble as the boat is coming in with the torrent as well. BKB going to hack. Trying for the kill with the enrage. We got to find that BKB active means to take no down from the Requiem. Plantomos turned around on. The buyback coming out from Pangolier trying to get in the fight. And now Gambit need to retreat because they don't want to have to deal with the Pangolier around this pit. Problem is they use the split. So if they retreat now, they know they're going to fall for Rush.
Yeah, Bane is respawning. You don't have Serpent Wards. You don't have Split. Boat's up soon. No BKB on Ursa. Yeah, they can just take this, I think. Once again, I think that was just kind of sloppy positioning from the Gambit supports. It's a really good power spike for UVJ, so their positioning is going to matter a lot more than it would usually if the Wraith King wasn't so strong right now. But this is just a really good power spike. The SF is also really strong. He's got his Yasha, got his Guardian Greaves. Of course, with the Aegis, he's even stronger. But yeah, Bane was on the low ground once again. Didn't get any spells off. Shaman forced onto the low ground. Like, both of these heroes should probably be on the high ground because they spent the entire fight running away trying not to die, as opposed to like gripping from the high ground or Shadow Shaman. I mean, he's got the shackles with the Aether Lens. He could do that from the high ground as well. But they're both just dying on the low ground.
This is like the kind of backfiring element of the Ursa pick. It's this type of hero that kind of very boldly assumes that he is dominant in Roche, right? So I feel like when we see teams run Ursa, they instantly just go into the pit. There's no attempt to like backstab round, take control of this high ground up here in the dire jungle and try and force a kill. You just go, wait, we just need to defend the pit. We don't need to be proactive and make the first move. Yeah, it's true. The problem is just like with the Radiance Burn, they just have all of this persistent harass for the Ursa if he runs into the pit. Like, they can't just do that, you know? But yeah, like you said, I really get why they're baited into doing that, just given that they have the Ursa. He really needs this level 20. The level 20 talent's very good. Like, either one of them is good. I think you only go in Rage if you want to build Ags.
Or if you're like a tanky offlaner guy who's just trying to make... Like, if you have damage already, but I think he's a good damage source for his team, obviously. So the Fury Swipe's damage will be amazing, especially considering like what he's doing. He's going to fights trying to burst either like the Pango or the Witch Doctor. So you want to, buff that. You don't have to use the BKB to kill the Witch Doctor. Yeah, he goes for it. If you just kill him in 2 hits instead of 4.
Don't even have to use the Enrage.
Yep.
Especially the Bash. If you just hit him straight away and it bashes, you know that other power will kill him. It's 1,000 HP Witch Doctor still.
Yeah, 0 armor.
Red King trying to jump in on me. He actually moves forward towards them. The Maldic's going to come out. There's the BKB, but disarmed. Ursa can't fight just yet. He's going to try and move in. The Bash first hit on the Shadow Fiend. Interrupts the Requiem being charged up. The boat's going to come through. Swashbuckle through. And Rage has been used as a hack to protect himself. Split's going to come out from Older Kulich. He's right in the mess and needs to make an escape. Problem is the cask is bouncing around a little bit. Luckily,
I like that they're getting out of this. Finally, like this is the one situation where like they go into a fight. Ursa uses his BKB and he uses their Enrage, and they can't fight, and they don't just like commit to it with all of their heroes. This is a good waste of time when the Aegis is up.
Meanwhile, in the land of FNG, not the best split pusher, but he's given it his best.
Hey man, I remember he got a tier 3 last hit on a Bane in a previous game, split pushing.
He's automatically the best.
He's the best, dude. There isn't any better.
I think maybe the Wraith King on the Shadow Fiend, as they were just shown in the mid lane. I mean, it is unfair. It's 2 heroes pushing compared to 1, but that was pretty fast.
And have you seen this guy? Look at him standing in the trees up here.
Motion, making sure with the Glimmer Cape he doesn't hurt himself more than he hurts the Wraith King.
Yeah, makes sense. Prevents the initiation too, like they'd have to dust him or sentry him. It's just not likely to happen in that position. Pikachu pushes the double siege into mid. Bane shows. This would be a good time if you're UVJ to like run to the top lane and maybe try to go for the Kunkka or the Ursa. Because they just saw Bane TP'd back.
They just seem to be comfortable playing around this high ground, trying to just prevent any assistance for Gambit to approach that high ground. But I mean, Dahak is committing somewhat to this push. Darkseer is going to TP back now. Problem is, if you vacuum, then he'll instantly TP out.
Yeah, he's the BKB TP too, but
they might
be very unfortunate to have to use the BKB.
Well, they could go for Cheshire Cat here. First wants to make the move. Look at happening. He's waiting to just get line of sight here. The ward was spawning out slightly.
Super tanky. He even has the evasion talent on Darkseer.
But with the Fury Swipes, though.
It's a hard kill. It's a really hard kill.
It's easily punishable as well with that shrine still up.
Yeah. I'm not sure how the math would work on that. Like Ursa at this point versus the Dark Series, you got such a huge amount of damage reduction.
True. Maybe with the Enrage, but then if they see that, they might instantly just move towards your base.
Kill him after the Enrage. Try to take a fight.
This man, however, can do something if he's split pushing immersion. Not going to commit too heavily. Just wants to force them back, and they're doing a good job of making sure UVJ don't find great value out of the Sagas.
I'm glad they're taking this game at this pace, like a slower pace. A lot of the time, you'll see teams just kind of like maintaining the same pace, like unable to like. Ooh,
the
top
hack.
lane.
They saw him. Does he BKB and TP is the real question. He might have to.
He has to.
There it is. You'll see how many heroes have rotated and realize he has to make an escape.
So they're probably going to time the Aegis, so they know that it's out. Probably want to wait for the Ursa to have BKB up. God, he's got a 5-second BKB still. Or I should say, at this point.
He burned through them pretty quick.
Yeah.
God, still, could you imagine if BKB was upgradable?
Yeah.
You have to earn those 10 seconds, son. Please.
Imagine if you could just if you could just buy the. Are you saying like if you could buy the recipe?
Yeah, like you just upgrade it like a Dagon. I'm not. No, don't do. I swear, don't do that, please.
That'd be kind of cool, actually. Like you upgrade it and you get a 6-second minimum BKB, and then you upgrade it again, get a 7-second minimum BKB.
I mean, the kind of interesting thing about BKB and the way it works, though, is that you can either delay it and have these bigger impact BKB charges for super late, where they could easily make the difference, and it's a risk play, or you just cash in early on, get those the easy victories in the mid game fights, and then just deal with the fact you have to burst someone down in a few seconds late game, right? Like it's a balanced choice you have to make right now.
It is. You can also, technically double your BKB charge by just getting a refresher. 10-second BKB, Refresh. It's actually not bad on Ursa, because you refresh the Abyssal, you refresh the... Oh, the smoke. The smoke, do they see them?
Well, you wondered if they could kill the Darks here. They are contemplating it right now.
They're thinking about it.
And Cheshire Cat just revealed them. They're going to move in. Abyss's going to be there. Enraged as well, trying to work for him. The evasion, though, he gets it off twice. They'll finally bring him down. The BKB outfit, they're going to turn around, look on the Pikachu as well, who has his own BKB. Cyclone up in the air, Witch Doctor can't help. The Fiend's Grip coming out. The Serpent Wards as well. And they want to go for the Roll and Thunder opportunity. Pangolier is going to throw it out now, but the boat is coming through. Give him the boat buff. Pikachu trying to move away as his magic immunity has ran out. Immersion trying to finish it off, but the cheese gets eaten, and Pikachu looking to charge it up, but the Hex is going to come out. Locks him in place. The X dragged back into the torrent is going to fall, and Pangolier needs to get out of this. Swashbuckle in 2 seconds. If he gets stunned once, though, he's dead. Swashbuckle to get away. The X drags him back to where he will die. While he's fallen on the side, Palantimos is being toyed with. Last man alive for the side of UVJ. This is how you make a Wraith King useless. Pull him away from his team, then just toy with him, kill him at the end.
Yeah, that's how you deal with Wraith King. You don't. You ignore him. Oh god, the amount of times that I get asked in YouTube comments, how do you deal with Bristle? It's the same thing. You just don't. You just pretend he doesn't exist and close your ears and close your eyes and sing a lullaby.
My mic randomly making noises? What's going on? Alright, folks. I think my mic is randomly making noises.
What noise are we talking about?
I don't know. Like, it's tracking. I'm looking in the window. It's tracking a random noise. Alright, screw that noise. You just have to listen to my voice because an important moment is coming up. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the high ground of UVJ. A much sought after gem in the world of Dota that Gambit have succeeded in penetrating.
That was some nice penetration there, but it looks like they're pulling out because they just don't want to commit to it, They're just not looking for a long-term relationship.
He's in it for the frivolous short-term right. He can't last long up there, You just go in, give it a little poke, give it a little prod, and before you know it, you just have to be out, or a big accident can happen, and, suddenly lives are in people's hands. It's
just that the Dire were about to come back alive, so, they pull out.
Yeah, and the problem is if you actually go too deep there's going to be a reach round that occurs from UVJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to go too deep into UVJ's...
Well, they want to go too deep into someone's home. Oh, no. He's been stunned again. They're going to find him. Swashbuckle comes out. He's got the BKB. Doesn't want to have to use it, though. That could have been catastrophic. Roshan trying to just screw with the dynamics of this game right now.
Witch Doctor standing in the trees. He's so scared. This man is like, I'm a tree now. Please don't kill me. He wouldn't kill trees.
Take a deep breath.
Look at him. He's just cosplaying a tree.
I mean, he's got some wood elements about him, you know. He's got a long staff. He's got
a monkey. There's a monkey climbing on him.
Paper is made of trees. Oh, there it is. Maledict going to come out on the Brewmaster. This is getting burned up. Throws out the Death Ward as well. The split's going to be used, though, in time, and the boat will connect onto 2 people here. Witch Doctor gone. You hid in the trees, but in the end, hiding doesn't work very well if you reveal your location. Torrent coming out. Wraith King going to be around for as well. The Cyclone does connect on the Shadow Fiend. He won't get a chance to use that BKB. They pop 1 life. They'll look to pop a second. BKB activated. Pikachu forced to fight here, but Plandomos taking way too much damage. Now they're going to use the Requiem. Will reduce the amount he takes, but the Fiend's Grip's going to come on the Shadow Fiend to make sure he cannot do anything. And the Fury swipes are overwhelming. The hack disarm out onto him. Plandomos forced to fight here because Shadow Fiend is dead. He can't afford to go down as well. But oh my god, the cleave! Avanim will get him with the tick out coming from Odakulich. The hack chases forward. Does he get the bash? No, he doesn't. Blink forward. Doesn't get it still. No, he didn't do it in time. In the meantime, they do get Pangolin and force the buyback. And while they're toying with the Darkseer, or the Darkseer's toying with them, Afanin has eyes for the base. He feels like he could last a lot longer on that high ground this time.
Daxic. Oh, Blinks misses.
This bear is being toyed with like a kitty.
He really is. See, the Ursa movement speed buff makes him, you know, not as kiteable, but when you have some guy that's just making people run faster than literally the cap in the game, then yeah, it's like just not great to have high movement speed because you can't go higher than 550 unless you're Darkseer.
So you're saying there's a limit and he's breaking it. I feel like there should be some sort of department to kind of verify whether this is cheap.
I think there should be like a system created by the
system of balance.
Yeah.
They want to. And we'll get these mega creeps. The Death Ward going down. The hack getting pretty low. In fact, he can't get the rage out. He's just going to burn up and die. They do get mega creeps, though. And they'll be happy with that. The Ghost Fleet will slow things down. Nafanin will make his escape. Good luck finding anyone. UVJ trying to look for it anyway. Odakulich does have to split in 5 seconds. Task will bounce across on the Bane. He's in the high ground, just in range. No! Odakulich, what are you doing? He says. FNG almost gets him killed. He does have the split, but he's silenced up. Taking way too much damage. Will fall in the end. I mean, FNG, he wanted to help. Kind of done the opposite.
Did you know that the Ghost Fleet applies the Kunkka Rum 3 times?
Yes, and it's insane, ridiculous, and there are many questions about level 25.
I was actually making that up. Is that true? Does it do that?
Yes, it refreshes it.
What? Oh, I didn't know that. I was just trying to mess with you. Oh god, that's really good. No wonder people go for that talent.
I mean, you're talking to a Kunkka spammer. I can tell you it does. Hoi hoi! Look who's here to play! Boat after boat, baby. Let's go. BKB activated. Pikachu, he may have taken too much damage already. Planamos getting low as well. Will be forced to pop the Reincarnate at this rate. Needs to move away. And Pango. Hello. Testing. Does your mouse work properly? It's going to have to roll away in the end. They've already lost the Shadow Fiend. Ursa's not been alive this whole time. Bane will go down for this, but you're happy with that trade because you just stopped them from Roshan.
You got Megas in your base, son.
Knock, knock. The creeps are hungry, and it turns out they eat concrete and stone. Ursa, however, eats.
I refuse to believe that in like the medieval times that there's that they have the technology available to make concrete. I don't believe it.
This is, in fairness, this is a complete... You don't know this is medieval time. If it was, explain Sniper, because guns did not exist in
those are like...
time.
What are they called? Blunderbusses? Whatever the hell? Like
even then, that wasn't medieval time.
It's just like a stick with some like gunpowder on it, and it could just blow up and literally kill you. And you know, 20% of the time it does. Like,
I mean, maybe if you're talking like Chinese gunpowder times, is that like I'm basically helping you make an argument here? Is that where you're going?
Yes, precisely.
Okay.
I totally know exactly what you're referring to. Chinese gunpowder.
Yeah, like as in they had, you know, they discovered gunpowder soon, so maybe they came up with some corruption. Pretty sure
that was them.
Like, because they had fireworks, right? From early point, which is like,
Yeah.
I think they used gunpowder. Look, I'm not an expert entirely on Chinese history, but I'm pretty sure I'm onto something here.
They were doing there for a while. Everybody else was doing dumb shit, and they were doing pretty good stuff. The philosophies too. They're writing some.
Wait, no, they didn't come up with guns because I remember like you had the whole end of the samurai period where we basically introduced. Well, you you introduced them to guns.
Excuse me, sir. What do you mean you? My country's only 200 years old.
Your neighbors, all right? They're closer to you. They originate from Europe, but that's besides the point.
They're like the neighbors that listen to music way too loudly, and it sounds like they're literally like...
Well, these are some loud noises. There's the double wards going down. They want to end this game right now. The split coming out, Cyclone to keep the Darkseer out of it. And a Fiend's Grip. There's the Aeon Disc to allow Pangolier to be free. But what can he do? He's away from his base. His team needs his assistance, and the boats are just smashing into the faces of UVJ. They're trying to get rid of the wards, which means they're not focused on the heroes. Cheshire Cat getting low. We'll be able to move away. Palantimos needs to be careful. Might have to pop that Reincarnate. They still have another bunch of wards to deal with, and Ursa hungry. Bear want to eat. He'll find the bash comes out. Nice blink just in time to dodge out Palantimos and stun. The disarm is there, but the hack hasn't raged in 5 seconds. And look at this. Older Cooler says, all right, fight me. I've got an Aegis. I'm ready to party. I'm ready to go. Cheshire Cat down to half HP. Has to stand his ground, but the big crits hurt a little bit too much. The Serpent Wards might get the kill. Just about missing out. In the meantime, they'll run through Wraith King. They'll move across to the throne, and Gambit will take the series 2-0.
So this means they're in the upper bracket, right? They play tomorrow for
against VP.
For a slot against VP, and there's 2 slots, right, for EU or for
CIS. Yes.
CIS.
Only 2.
Okay, well, I mean that makes sense. EU CIS, when you split those up, it's like 2 slots. CIS makes sense. Your mic's making all sorts of wild noises, by the way.
Okay, I knew something was up. I called it. Give me a sec.
I just started hearing it.
I'm just gonna mute.
Okay. No. 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 Oh, now you sound good. Actually, I'd prefer if you go back to how it was.
There we go. Jenkins was enjoying the mad bass I was putting in his ears there at the end. My mic has been fixed. It is much less broken than Pangolier now.
Sounded like some modern trap music.
I'm expanding out, okay? You can't always be a caster. You got some downtime. Might as well make your own.
Of course. Voice. Some casters go into voice acting. You just are going into like experimental kind of sound hip hop.
I mean, why not mix the two?
Is that Ogre? Can you give me the dazzle? Give me the dazzle real quick.
Okay. Dazzle. Is that what you want?
I could hear that hurt your throat to do.
Actually, doesn't. Dazzle doesn't. Lycan does. Lycan is painful. All right,
let's hear the Lycan. Have you done it on stream? You've done it. It's good.
Fools need no armor. I like look at you just like you pigeonhole me. You're basically just trafficking me out on your show and tell gal right now. What's going on?
This is great. I'm
hey,
enjoying
funny
this.
Man, do a voice.
Okay, you know what? I do magic tricks at parties, so I'm always that guy. They're like, do another one. It's like, you know what? You didn't ask me how my day was going. Hey, Mr. Magician, how was your day? You know whose day is going pretty good? Gambit Esports.
They're feeling pretty good, although
they're winners.
They've increased their kind of get laid points, right? Like, they're gonna be fans. People are gonna like, yeah, these guys can win. I'm not gonna lie, that last comment may have decreased yours because you commented that the chat was already calling you a nerd. You said they'd already called you a virgin, and you just said you do magic.
Well, yeah, I mean, your get laid points definitely went up too. They probably 10x'd. So
why? Because people want me to make
0 to 0.
Why? Oh, there we go.
Got him.
What? I was like, why are my points going up? Because some girls like people to roleplay Lycan and howl the end of. I don't understand. Anyway, back to the game because you can tell the manic period has set in because we have reached the end of the stream. It's been a long day of Dota. 4 best of 3s we basically managed to squeeze in. That is damn well impressive across almost 10 hours of cast. And we are going to be back to torture you more. That's right, we're not done. There is going to be more Dota tomorrow. We might have a surprise in store where we like basically stick Jenkins and someone else in a blender and see what comes out. But that's in the works. That will happen tomorrow. Sounds like my childhood. Sounds like your child. I mean, honestly, if your parents are sticking you in a blender, I would have liked them to have at least mixed you with something a bit fruity, a bit spicy, or something tasty. I don't know. But tomorrow, there are games. You don't want to miss it because we are going to have the upper bracket to start off the day. That's right. VP versus Gambit or Empire versus Na'Vi. I got a funny feeling everyone wants VP versus Gambit. And then after that will be the lower bracket, which will have Uvajenie versus one of the losers from the upper bracket, or Old Gold versus one of the losers from the upper bracket. We call them losers because technically in that day they lose. After a day, you reset and you just become the lower bracket people. You're no longer the loser until you lose there as well, and then you're out. We will commence with those games at 14:30 MSK, which for those that don't use Russian time zones, I believe that would be 12:30? That sounds right. 12:30. So just past midday CET. Don't want to miss it. Plenty of action to come. This has been KillerPigeon and Jenkins signing out after a long day, ready for some more Smash Me CIS Dota tomorrow.